Listen. People out here chasing 30-second likes. I'm clocked in 10-year vision, putting steel in my spine for the fight. They be dancing all crazy, trying to catch the next wave. I'm in the quiet, laying blueprints, stacking bricks while they crave it, selling sugar, quick fixes, empty receipts. I'm cooking slow, roasted purpose, planting generational seeds. They want a flash in the pan, I want a legacy feast. They scroll for validation, I'm signing deeds while they tweet. They feed the algorithm, then they wonder why they hollow. Trade a compass for a comment, and some numbers they can follow. Every click another chain link, tightening they leash, while I'm buying back my freedom, brick by brick, piece by piece. Feed the algorithm, watch their souls get deleted. I'm writing chapters and stolen, writing posts get deleted. They chase a viral moment just to fall off next week. I'm architecting the kingdom that my grandkids will keep. They screaming, look at me, just to vanish off the screen. I'm quietly owning acres, turning vision into scheme. Followers come and go, like the seasons in the rain, but equity in my name. That's a different type of fame. They want a clip to go crazy, chase applause in the trend. I'm busy building foundations that'll stand when it ends. Let them dance for attention, let them bargain and name. I'm too busy building empires to compete for their flame. I'm investing in the soil, they just decorate the stage. I'm alive in real time, they just dying for a page. When the timeline forgets them and the hashtags all fade, my bloodline's still eating off the moves that I made. When the servers all crash and the numbers don't show, you gon' see who really planned it, who just posed for the glow. And the filters fall off and the noise go mute. All that's left is what you build and the truth you salute. No replay button when your story's complete, so I'm writing mine in granite while they dance for a tweet. Long game, long game, long game, long game, long game, long game, long game. It's the code that I keep. Knuckles scarred, heart on fire. I stack my doubts, set a match to the pile. I talk to the mirror, say it straight, no excuse. Your response is your responsibility. So what you gonna do? We don't do easy. We bleed, we climb, we push on through. We don't do easy. Turn every can into watch me prove. Best yesterday's you with today's you. Step for step till the old you's through. Stand up, face it. We are Grit Nation. Fail 10 times on the 11th swing. Pressure makes a harder ring. They toss stones, we build steps. Every setback, another rep. I talk to the mirror, no escape, only truth. Your response is your responsibility. So what you gonna do? We don't do easy. We bleed, we climb, we push on through. We don't do easy. Turn every can into watch me prove. Best yesterday's you with today's you. Step for step till the old you's through. Stand up, face it. We are Grit Nation. Handshake it good means you're close to the edge. Voice breaking good, that's the sound of progress. Best yesterday's you with today's you. Daily stack these wins till the quick
Good Morning, y'all caught me. I wasn't even paying attention to the timer, and all of a sudden I look over. I'm like, "Oh, I'm live!" And ah, thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Grit Nation, and welcome to this episode of Coffee with Coach. I was actually paying attention when the countdown ended, and all of a sudden it was like, "Oh, there I am." I was paying attention to the delays and seeing if I could figure out how long the delay is from when I'm recording this to when you are seeing it. It actually is 7-second delay. So I am currently in your future. I'm 7 seconds ahead of you, and I want to tell you that the future 7 seconds from now looks absolutely amazing. It's great. I have my cup of coffee. We have Coffee with Coach. And if you are brand new to Grit Nation, if you are watching us on YouTube or watching this on replay and you're brand new to Grit Nation, let me tell you, I am so excited. I'm Coach Grit, and you are watching Coffee with Coach. We do this most mornings where we just have the opportunity where I get to have a cup of coffee with you. All of those who are out there watching this, those who are part of Grit Nation. We've been doing this for years. I will tell you, I wish that I had been keeping full count of the amount of coffee with coaches we've done. And here's why I say that. The other day, I was going through and cleaning out old files. And I had used to be that when we started years ago, we started Coffee with Coach, Facebook didn't delete videos, right? The videos would go up, they would stay up there unless you deleted them. They would stay up there forever. Well, about 2 years ago, Facebook, or maybe a year and a half ago, Facebook stopped that. They stopped storing them. And so they gave everybody a notification saying, hey, if you have videos up that you want to keep, make sure you download them because they're only going to stay up for 30 days. Well, it had a setting when it first came out. It had a setting where you could click and it would just automatically download all the videos you had posted. I had forgotten about it, and I will tell you, they don't download well. I took a lot of those videos that did download, put them over in my video editing software, and the sound wasn't matching up with the video, so I never could really use them. But here was the interesting part. This last week, I was doing some file cleaning up, and I was going through. I was like, man, I need to do some cleanup. And I ended up deleting over 1,000 videos. In fact, it was probably close to 2,000 videos, and almost all of them were Coffee with Coach. So that means that we have been doing Coffee with Coach well over 1,000 times, and many of you have either watched them all live or you have watched them on the replay. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for the support that you've given. This is Coffee with Coach. This is Wednesday. I had to think about what day it was. Wednesday, April 29th, 2026. And we are actually going to do something today that we have not done in a while. We're going to start a series. I don't know how long. I think it's just probably going to be a few days. But doing some research for this episode of Coffee with Coach, some things kept coming up. And one of the things that, if you've been around for a while, or if you're brand new and you stay around, you're going to hear me say, is when the universe begins to put something in your path, you start recognizing a pattern. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a subject, maybe it's a statement. And somehow you constantly are coming across this. That's a clue, my friends. That's a clue. The universe is saying, pay attention, pay attention. And so over the last couple of days, something has continued to pop up over and over and over. And if you hear me, first of all, let me pause this. If you hear me talking to individuals or making statements, I do have the live comments from our Facebook group up. So Mackenzie says, got coffee and I'm on a live production. So Mackenzie is in, wrong coffee mug. That would have been, I really have to learn to take my coffee mugs off my desk and take them to the sink. I usually have about 2, and, I went and grabbed the wrong one, almost drank it. Mackenzie's doing film school in an undisclosed location. I know where that location is. She knows where that location is, but I'm not going to tell you guys. That's her business, right? But she's currently on live production today. Mackenzie, thanks for joining us. What I was saying is it's a clue, and the universe is trying to teach you something. The universe is trying to catch your attention. It's trying to get you to move off the X, right? It's saying, hey, pay attention. And so the last couple of days, something has been popping up that I started going. The first time it popped up, okay. Second time it popped up, might be a coincidence. Third or fourth time it popped up, I'm like, okay, it's a clue. So we're going to be talking about something. We're going to start a series because in researching it and doing some work on it on my own, and then wanting to bring it to you, I realized that it was going to be more than just one episode of Coffee with Coach. And we used to do some series for a while, and we kind of got away from that, but we're going to bring that back at least at this time. But before we get into that, let me tell you about a few things. One, go check out our Grit Nation Volume 1 album on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all of those good things. All those good. I listen to YouTube music. I know most people out there, Spotify, and the reason I do YouTube music is because for years ago I got a subscription to Google Music, and Google Music no longer exists. It became YouTube Music, and that's where all my playlists are. I know most people do Spotify, but for me, it doesn't make any sense to transfer everything over to that and pay for another subscription. And I get so much more with YouTube music. I get a lot of other things with it. So I stick with that, but it's over there. It's on Spotify. I know it's on Apple. It's on iHeart, but it's called Grit Nation Volume 1. You can find it by putting in Grit Nation Volume 1. You can find it by putting in my name, which is not Coach Grit. That's what you know me as, but my name is Nathan Parks. Second of all, you can look up the album. If you do type in Grit Nation, you might see an album that says Grit Nation. I think it's Legacy Builder, something like that. But it is our another album that we have put out that is really powerful. And I highly suggest that you go check those out if you are looking for music that has not only just great music, but at the same time has positive messages, right? It's not just words of umbrella, Ella, like a diamond. I don't know. I'm not a singer, folks, but the other day I was listening to a song. I was at a restaurant and putting these albums out. One of the things I find it frustrating is listening to music that doesn't seem to have anything for me. And I pay attention to that stuff. I pay attention to lyrics, and the Deborah says the album is my morning jam session album. The Legacy album is straight fire. Mackenzie says very good stuff. The other day I was in the restaurant and I was listening to some lyrics, and I swear to God that the lyrics, I don't know how some of these artists get this stuff out because it I literally counted 5 to 6 times that they repeated the same thing on the course. Just and it had no content. And what I mean by no content, it gave me nothing, right? It was something such as, I want you, want you, want you, want you, something like that. And I'm just like, how does that enhance my life? So our albums actually enhance your life, right? It actually is not only great music, but a great content, great lyrics. So go check out the Grit Nation Volume 1, as well as the Grit Nation Legacy album on all your streaming devices. Other thing I want to talk about this morning is this. If you're taking a look and you're saying, hey, I want someone, hey, coach, we talk about all the time, motivate the mind, build the body, encouraging me to search my soul. And I am looking at my life and I know that I need to do something different, whether it is with your physical well-being, your just your well-being when it comes to thought process and your mental well-being, not mental health in the aspect of I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, right? I am a mindset coach. But if you are looking for someone that will come alongside of you and partner with you, I offer that in several different formats. You don't have to live near me. That is the beauty of technology. I have several different clients that I work with all over the United States, and it is a valuable piece to have someone come alongside of you. And I think you would be if you're, I don't know, coach, I don't know how that would work. Hey, reach out to me. I'll do a free consultation with you and we'll talk about how that will work and what it looks like and the pricing. Because I will tell you, everybody so far that all my clients have been very surprised at one, how interactive it is. It's very interactive. It's not like I just set you up and say goodbye. I will spend time checking in on you, helping you set up goals and meet those goals to become and build a better version of you, mind, body, and soul. And so I challenge you to check that out. If you're interested, you can send me a direct message, a DM here on Facebook, or you can also email me at gritnationcoach@gmail.com and say, hey, coach, I heard you talking about it. I'm very interested. And let's get that started for you. This morning, this episode of Coffee with Coach and coming up episodes of Coffee with Coach, we are going to be talking about something that I think is often misunderstood, and it plays so much into our mindset. Originally, this started off with me. We talked about yesterday about how I walked out of the gym and it was cold, it was kind of rainy, and learning to change my mindset and taking control of each thought. And we talk about that a lot here at Grit, is the importance of you controlling your thought patterns and your mindset and not allowing it to control you. Don't just allow your mind and your actions to be on autopilot. And I will tell you that this is not something easily done, but when you begin to create a habit out of it, it starts becoming second nature. And I will tell you, if you're a game player, if you love games, if you love puzzles, it almost becomes that. I look to find out, okay, how long did I just spend just on autopilot? And what can I do right now to flip the switch on how I'm thinking, my perspective, the ideas? And then that leads to action. And one of the things that really plays an important role in this that I think gets often overlooked, and I did not even fully understand the power of it. I knew about it. I've done some research on this, but not a lot, just enough to know, oh, be aware of this, be aware how it affects. And then again, this started coming up over and over the last few days. And when you pair it with the idea of controlling your thought patterns and controlling your mindset, I will tell you that it plays an important part. And that's why I want to talk to you today and moving forward over the next couple of days. I want to talk to you about the dopamine effect. The dopamine effect. Now, what is dopamine? Do you even know what this is? As a personal trainer, it's something that I learned about. As a mindset coach, it's something I've learned about. But again, as I stated, it's not something I really took a look deep into. I was just kind of had a surface level understanding to be able to talk about it. But with it coming up in my personal training and my mindset coaching and stuff over the last few days with several clients, I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here I need to take a look at for myself. And when I started digging in, I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. Why haven't I looked at this before? So, dopamine is actually a neurotransmitter and hormone that is in everybody's head, everybody's body. And it plays an important part that I wasn't aware of. I knew that a lot of times it's known as the feel good chemical. It is that reward chemical. It is that high when you have accomplished something, that high when you have gone into something that feels good, when it's a motivation. It actually helps. It's a pleasure chemical, and it helps not only reward but motivate because it gets you and your mind, body, and soul to say, "Oh, that felt good. I want to do it again." And there's nothing wrong with feeling good, right? I don't think anyone got up this morning and said, coach, today I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to make it my goal to feel bad today. I couldn't even keep the character, guys. Uh, okay, note to self, don't try to pretend to be a bad, sad, emotional character while drinking coffee because that was but it plays a big role in several different areas. I know a lot of the comments right now are saying that it's the body's own natural drug. It is. It's our own or body's own natural drug. It is, and we're going to get into that. It's like our own natural drug because it sets us to a high. It is a natural high. And we have to be aware of that. And we're going to talk about that because, as important as it is for the good things in our life and how to make us feel good and to get us moving forward and to motivate us, if we don't understand the role that it plays in our lives, it can have devastating, devastating effects. It can have devastating effects. So it is literally, it's almost like, a medication. There's a lot of things that are talked about, and I don't like talking about the negative stuff that's going on in the news, but, there are a lot of things there's a lot of medications out there, prescription drugs out there that have positive effects when used correctly. But when abused, it can have devastating effects. And dopamine is the same way when it comes to our life. And it also is the same way of how it comes to us controlling our mindset. So it's a reward, it's a motivation, it's pleasure, and there's nothing wrong with all those things. All those things are good, right? We're sitting there going, okay, coach, I don't see the devastating part of it yet. All right. It also helps us. Here's some of the things I wasn't aware of. It helps us with our motor control. It enables smooth coordination of muscle movement. And so when you think about mind, reward and motivation, body, it helps us with our muscle coordination. It helps us with cognitive function. It influences focus, attention, learning, and mood. So if I don't have good dopamine levels, if I don't understand how dopamine works, if I don't know how to create dopamine or to enhance the dopamine in my brain in a healthy way, it can affect my memory. It can affect my attention span. It can affect my muscle movement. It can affect my mood. I know someone mentioned in the comments, it helps me stay out of my depression. And then it also has dopamine plays an overarching effect in our physical health. It helps regulate sleep, heart rate, blood vessel function, and helps us process pain. So you're saying that I'm sure you're sitting there saying, well, coach, oh, okay. Like so far, you mentioned a minute ago devastating effects. But so far, all of that is absolutely amazing. And it goes right in line with everything we've talked about and we talk about and teach here at Grit. Mind, body, soul. All of those things are touched by dopamine. And so that's the good side of it. And we're going to talk about that more over the next few days. But what if we have low dopamine levels? How do we get more dopamine? And as stated, it's like our body's natural drug. How is it that we can become imbalanced? And how does that affect? Because we want to have balance in our lives. We want to have balance in our actions, our thoughts, our emotions, the way that we physically train. I'm actually dealing with a shoulder issue right now because I have not had some imbalance. I've had some imbalance in my physical training. I did something I tried something out that I was kind of like, because I always like to try things out before I teach someone something. And I found the wrong way to do it. I had an imbalance. I also, as I stated, I think it was yesterday in Coffee with Coach, I'm like a bulldog. I'm like that horse raring to go. You almost have to pull me back because you put me onto something. I'm going to go for it. And yes, coach is human. Sometimes my ego gets a part of me. And that can cause some really painful situations in the gym and set us back. And when it comes to our mind, body, and soul, the same thing, we need balance. So, what happens when the dopamine becomes out of balance? Is it something we can change? Is it something we even recognize? What are some of the symptoms of imbalanced dopamine that we many a times are contributing to, such as social media? You want to know why TikTok is so big? You want to understand why I remember a time where we didn't have 15-second, 30-second, 60-second videos. I remember a time then also when TikTok and Reels and all of that played into just the 15 and 60 seconds. You couldn't do more than 60 seconds. And if you take a look at studies, it still shows that that 15, 60-second time frame is still the most important. Why? Dopamine, folks. We are training our brain. When was the last time you sat down and read a full book? I'm not going to try to plug my books right now, but when was the last time that you read a full book? When was the last time that you sat down, other than here on Coffee with Coach, you sat down and you pulled out a book that maybe was nonfiction, that was educational, inspirational, or motivational, and read it from cover to cover? And you spent quality time doing that, studying it. When was the last time you studied something that brought value to your life? When talking with many clients, so many times, here's what I get: I just don't have the time, coach. Then we do this project, and we've done this before in our workshops where we break down time and that you actually do have time. What you don't have is attention span. And the reason that we are seeing attention span go so from a lot longer than it used to be to a very small extended period of time is because we are living in a society of dopamine fiends. Dopamine fiends. We have become addicted to the high. And the thing about dopamine, just like any drug, is the more you dump into your system, the more you will need to keep that high going. And if we don't have it and we don't understand it and we haven't done a dopamine detox, then what happens is our brain, and we're not controlling our thoughts, which then controls our emotions, which then controls our actions. We're just letting it be on autopilot. Then the next thing that happens is I need more. And we start getting depressed. We start getting anxious. We start getting angry. We start getting moody. We become lazy and we just don't know. We're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's wrong with me. What's wrong with you is that you need a dopamine fix. But the issue is you're going to need more of it. And this leads us into some very dangerous territory. It isolates us. The reason it isolates us is because we have gotten to a place where we no longer get the dopamine feeling or the dopamine dosage from our relationships, our day to day relationships with humans. It doesn't give us that same thing because it's not always entertaining. Dopamine is a pleasure. Dopamine is a high. Dopamine is a reward. And if I have to sit down and spend time with someone that I'm not, maybe I'm having an argument with, that's not going to give me dopamine. Maybe it's just kind of boring. You want to know why relationships are not working the way they used to is because we have conditioned ourselves in dopamine aspects to believe that there always should be this high. And that's not a healthy relationship. That's not a healthy job situation. That's not a healthy life. Life isn't always on a high. And then what happens is we get so used to that. Then when life dips, when our relationships dip, when we have a rainy, cloudy day, there's no reward, there's no real motivation when it comes to the chemical aspect of it. And we're not going out and looking for it the hard way. We become depressed. We become anxious. We become unsettled. When this begins to happen, our brain is telling us something is wrong, and maybe it's time for like a hibernation. Maybe it's time for something, a change. We begin to close in. The more we close in, the more depressed we become. The more we closed in, the better, the more isolated we become. The more every single thing that we need as humans to have a healthy, balanced life, we shirk from because it's not giving us the dopamine. And that's what we're used to. Or we'll go to a crowded, or we'll go to an isolated room, or we'll go lay in our bed, or we'll go lay on a couch, we'll go sit in a chair, and we'll start scrolling through different things. We will go watch that exciting show and we'll binge watch it. Even our television has gotten to where with streaming, we can binge watch, and I'm guilty of it. I don't like sitting down. In fact, if I know a show is going to be out, um, we're currently watching, Miss Coach and I are watching, I love Daredevil, The Punisher. I'm not a big comic book movie. I think we have inundated the market so much. I don't care for all the Marvel DCU movies, but I do like the unique parts, and that's where it's like the street level stuff like Daredevil, Punisher. And so we've been watching Daredevil. And I waited until season 2 was almost done before I ever watched, well, technically season, I don't know, but Netflix had it for a while. Now Disney Plus has it and they've revamped it. So season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, I waited until season 2 was almost done. I will do that. I don't like waiting now to for the next week episode to come out. I want it all now. Why? It's a reward. It's a dopamine. I'm very aware of that. And so what we do is we isolate and we begin to get that dopamine effect somewhere, somehow. But it doesn't, it's like a sugar rush. The other thing that we need to pay attention to, so some of the things, low levels of dopamine can cause motor issues. It has been contributed to conditions that are like Parkinson's disease. It also has been linked to mental health conditions such as schizophrenia, ADHD, bipolar disorder. And the reason for that is because, again, we're looking constantly for that fix. And if I can't find it, if I'm not getting an instant gratification reward right now, then I need to go to the next thing. And then I need to go to the next thing. And then, oh, my mind is constantly in the background racing. Me doing dishes may not give me that dopamine effect. And all of a sudden I'm scattered and I'm like, okay, I'm doing dishes. Oh, but now the dishes are not fully done. But now I'm over here doing that. Oh, and that's not fully done because I'm over here. And we're allowing our mind to control the emotion and the action instead of us being in control of our thoughts and saying, I am going to finish this. I'm going to be very purposeful in what I am doing, no matter how I feel, because the feeling is irrelevant at this moment, because feelings ebb and flow. Crosby. So, this is the introduction piece of the next few days. Here's what I want you to get from it. If you are someone who says, hey, coach, I want to be in control of my life instead of being on autopilot. Hey, coach, I want stronger relationships with my significant other or my family or my friends. Hey, coach, I want to have a better balance so that I can focus better at work and on projects that I'm looking to accomplish. Hey, coach, I am trying to figure out how to better regulate my life, mind, body, and soul, so that I can set goals, whether they're long term goals, short term goals, but they're not easy goals. But I want to be able to accomplish them in a well balanced shape and time frame. And what I want you to do today is I want you to start keeping track of your thoughts and your actions and your emotions, thoughts, emotions, and actions, and start being purposeful and asking, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? What's the end goal here? How long should it take me? If I get distracted, why did I get distracted? And I want you to start looking at how much time are you spending on these things that you're going in the moment. You're like, oh, I feel so good. And then you're down. And then you go, oh, it's that thing. How many times do you grab your phone? How many times when all of a sudden life is quiet? Because when it's quiet, we're not getting a reward. We're not getting that fix. And all of a sudden, that anxiety starts going. And it's like, okay. What do I do now? Oh, grab my phone, flip through social media. Next thing you know, 30 minutes have passed, an hour have passed. Oh, flip on the TV. Oh, go to what are some things that we're going to be avoiding? What are some things that we need to add in to create a balance with our dopamine so that it doesn't control everything we do? And we gain control of our life. So I want you to think about it. So our motor control, cognitive function, our physical health, all affected by dopamine. With that being said, let me share one more thing that we're going to be talking about in tomorrow's. Hold on, let me get my notes up here. So, let me get it. Hold on. Some of the things we're going to be talking about dopamine addiction tomorrow. We've set it up, we've kind of talked about it. Dopamine addiction refers to a compulsive need to engage in high stimulation behaviors, such as social media use, gaming, gambling, many other things that cause excessive repeated surges of the neurotransmitter dopamine. So, compulsive behaviors, such as inability to stop or continuously seeking high dopamine activities like gambling, sex, or excessive phone use. Tolerance, needing to engage in the behavior more often or higher intensities. This is this thing. So if you find yourself, it's constant. We see this in most addictions. And a lot of times when we start talking about addictions, good morning, Glenda. When we start talking about addictions, we're thinking drugs, alcohol. But addiction is anything that hinders you from moving forward and accomplishing things. And it becomes a continual obstacle because you have to continually return to it. And when you return to it, you are exceeding the limits you once did before because the last limit doesn't give you the fix. It is getting into excessive. For me, it was an adrenaline. It was adrenaline. When I look at my law enforcement, my military background, my firefighting, my EMT stuff, I had to come to a place in my life where I realized that I was making excuses saying, I am doing all of these risk takings because I'm doing good for society. And that's the facade truth. The facade truth is a truth that gives you that excuse to continue it because there is some truth to it. Was I doing good for society? I 100% was. Was I helping my neighbor out? 100% was. Was I helping the community out? 100% I was. But what it was doing, so I used that as my validation, my false validation to keep going. But when I started dealing with PTSD and I had to dig down, I realized it was the dopamine. It was an addiction to the adrenaline. I was taking more risks and higher risk calls than I did the year before or 2 years before. Why? Because the normal calls were no longer doing the job. The normal calls were no longer feeding it. So when we talk about that dopamine addiction, we're not, or addiction and compulsive behaviors, what we're talking about is it very simply might be something in your life right now that when you go to do it, you're like, ugh, and you have to find a reason and an excuse and a validation. You're like, okay, so the reason I'm doing it, I mean, it's okay that I do this because A, B, and C. Then now you have to break it down and ask, is A, B, C true? For me, okay, I'm making these calls that are protecting the community. They absolutely are. But is that really why you answered that call? Is that really why you chose to go on that call? You weren't even up for that call, but you jumped in. Is that really why you're taking this chance? It's something, maybe something in your relationship that you're going, it's not necessarily bad. My friend or my significant other, they're they're not opposed to it. If it's a question, then it's a question for a reason. And if you're questioning it, that means you have not, your subconscious, your soul, your spirit has not been so inundated with it and silenced that it's still giving you a little bit. It's like that Jiminy Cricket with Pinocchio. It's your conscience saying, hey, I may not want to do this. But your brain is saying, I need the dopamine. I need it. I got to have it. So, how do we regulate it? What does dopamine addiction look like? What is good dopamine balance? And how do we utilize it? That's what we're going to be talking about over the next few days. Thanks for joining this Coffee with Coach. Thank you for being part of everything that we do here at Grit Nation. Please tell someone about it. And again, if you are interested, if you're just like, Coach, you keep talking about all the stuff you do and how you can come alongside of me one-on-one and help me with my personal training or physical fitness or my mindset stuff. Coach, I don't know what that looks like, but hey, I'm peaked enough to at least ask you, send me a message, let me know, and we will move forward with that. So you can email me at gritnationcoach@gmail.com. Send me a direct message. Let's get you started on a journey to beat yesterday's you with today's you, because your response is your responsibility. Before I leave and before we close out this thing, Crosby says 200,000 million, I don't know, percent correct, sir. I retired last year. And yes, the high. If the job was extreme there, and I realized that after retirement. And he's former law enforcement officer as well. I'm telling you, folks, we think of addiction as drugs, alcohol, gambling. But what we don't realize is the hidden addictions of dopamine that we're allowing to flip our lives upside down. And it's making it where we are unable to accomplish the goals because it becomes the obstacle that derails our train. And that's what we will be talking about as we move forward. Reach out to me. Hey, let me be your personal coach, whether it be with fitness or mindset. Let's do it. Send me a message. Let's talk about it. Thank you. Your response is your responsibility today. I truly appreciate you being part of Grit Nation.
Alarm hits, feet hit floor. Same four walls, but I'm coming for more. Knuckles